Okay, hopefully that's good. Welcome to One Less Blade. Today I'm going to be reviewing Joytoy's Grey Knights action figures that I recently got from my mother-in-law for my birthday, which are very neat. This is a bit of an unusual thing for my channel. Usually I'm doing specifically hobby or gameplay stuff, but these are awesome and I want to review them real quick. If you are a regular viewer of the channel, I'll put a chapter break. I have an announcement at the end of this video, which I didn't want to make a whole video for. But yeah, skip ahead to that or stick around for it. Anyway, reviewing action figures. I've never done an action figure review before, so I have pulled up a guide that I found online from some guy who says he's been doing it for 20 years. mwctoys.com. We're gonna use his rubric. So first off, I got these in the mail and I was exceptionally pleased with them just right out of the gate. They are so cool and they are super faithful to the models. I love them. I don't know what to do with them, so I've just been kind of setting them up on my shelves over there. I brought them to work and I set them up on the bar top, and I don't think Dustin loved that, so I brought them back home. But maybe I'll bring them back to Waystone. This review process, from what I'm seeing, has a couple of different categories. The first is packaging. I took them out of the packaging immediately, so I don't really recall the packaging from them. But from what I remember, it was black, very professional. The typical Joytoy kind of presentation with their 40K stuff. It was neat. How many stars? I guess 3. It was serviceable, which showed the product, and looked kind of fancy. Next is sculpting, which I was very impressed with these. Typically, I expect toys like this to be garbage, and these are actually pretty neat. Like, the attention to detail compared to the models is very on point. They have a lot of small details, like the writing on the purity seals and the books is actually engraved in there and then filled in with ink, which is a step beyond what I do for the actual models, so that's nice. I was very impressed with all the small little details that they've put in there to make it feel authentic. From the bronze gold lettering on the Grey Knights to the definition in the hammer and stuff like that. And especially, if you look at the banner bearer's banner, it's got all sorts of embossed details in there, which, like the model, if you know, you have to fill all this in. It's kind of a coloring book sort of situation, like paint by numbers situation. And they did the same thing here, and I think it looks great. So very impressed with this sculpt. I will give it 4 stars out of 4 on that. The paint. This is a pretty important category. I've seen a lot of toys where they have just garbage painting that very clearly looks like somebody just stamped it out in some sad sweatshop. These might be from a sad sweatshop, I don't know, but they look great, and the paint is fantastic on there. It's very similar to what I do with my Grey Knights, like my minis themselves. Oh no, I've fallen down. It's very similar to what I do with the minis themselves, and I think it's impressive. There's also a lot of distinction in a lot of small places that I wouldn't expect for a normal action figure that's under $100. Stuff that could have not been differentiated and nobody would have really cared. Little pieces on the Nemesis Demon Hammer there. Notably, and this is important and I think really cool about these, it's the same pieces as the models themselves. So for example, there's one of the Terminator torsos in the model kit has the 2 purity seals over the book like that. You also have the similar shoulder things, the crunch there. The pieces are the same as on the models, which is a really nice thing, because then I could model up a small guy to look like this, or if I wanted to pop this guy apart with the other sets, I could model him up to look like one of my characters or something, which is a fun little detail. I also appreciate the distinction, or the attention to detail with the specific Paladin or Terminator parts. They have the Terminator helmet and the Terminator tilt shield, compared to the Paladin Ancient here, who has the Paladin helmet and the Paladin tilt shield, as well as the book on top. And that is a nice attention to detail that I appreciate that they did. One thing that isn't great about the Paladin Ancient, he has a Force Sword, not a falchion, which is not accurate. He can't actually, this is not a legal loadout, having the Force Sword on the Ancient. But that's fine, because all of the weapons and all the hands and stuff, they all come out, which I think might be the next category. Oh, for paint. Paint, I'm going to give it 4 out of 4 stars. Paint, I'm going to give it, 4 out of 4 stars sounds good. Articulation. The articulation is almost too much on these. I'm having a lot of trouble standing them up right now. They have so many points of articulation. The knees, the feet, the hips, they rotate as well as bend. All the hand and everything moves. Even the little fucking like armor plates all across them seem to be mobile and like removable, and I'm not sure why. But it's an insane amount of articulation on these little guys, which I think is unusual for these. But again, I don't review action figures, so I'm not sure. I think that's unusual for these, but maybe it's, I should have had like another action figure to compare. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I got something else. Shit. All right, we'll have a 1993 Kenner Velociraptor. Wow, you are 30 years old. Holy shit, this is an old piece of plastic. Anyway, this is an old Velociraptor from back in the day. I've had this since I was a young child. Comparatively, its points of articulation are cheap and easy. There's 4. It moves legs and hands, whereas these guys are covered in it. Maybe this is just because it's a millennial, and these are definitely Zoomers, but also that's fun. This isn't about that. Anyway, for articulation, I'm gonna give them 4 out of 4 stars as well. You can put them in a ton of really cool poses. You guys know me, and I typically go for like the neutral pose, but I'll do some shots to show that they can do some really complex, really interesting poses. They also, so 4 out of 4 for articulation. Accessories, they come with a lot of cool accessories. I think it would be neat if they came with more, but they come with a lot. And primarily, each of them comes with the books on the back that they can use. I chose to not give the Terminator the book because he's not the Justicar, and I typically don't think that the Terminators have the Paladin-style books on the back unless they are a Justicar or a Librarian or something very specific. But this guy came with the hammer, and the hammer can go in either hand because the hands are interchangeable. They are exceptionally difficult to take out, but you can take out the heads and I think pretty much everything on this guy can be popped out and put back in. It's very difficult. I found I had to use a knife to like wedge out the hand on here in order to, before he had an open like sword holding hand, and I just wanted to close it so it looks like, so I can model him like this, like he's like firing the Stormbolter, because that's how the Stormbolters work. They clench their fists and it fires, which is neat. Why do I know that? Anyway, so the thing about this guy with the incorrect loadout with the sword, if I got one of the other kits, and I think one of the other kits comes with falchion, I could just replace it with this dude, and he could take the falchion, and I'd be able to hook it up just like I wanted. There's also a hand that comes with them that's like sticking out like this, so it's like they're casting psychic powers. There's a lot of really cool options in here. I could also just take out the flag if I want, because the flag is clearly being held in the hand, but obviously I'm going to have the flag because it's neat. Anyway, so for accessories, I'm trying to see how I would gauge that. I'm going to give accessories 4 out of 4 stars as well, because they're neat and cool, and they're all very fitting with Grey Knights. Sound, light, and other action figures. Nothing. They don't have any sound or light or anything. Should I grade that? I'm not going to grade them on that because they don't have it, so I can't say if they have bad. It's 0. The category is deleted. Next is fun factor, which is tricky because I am an adult and I don't really play with action figures. I play with tiny models. So for me, an entirely static figure is fun. But I don't really play with these in the way that I would play like if I was like 7 again and playing in the dirt. Having said that, there's some cool stuff that these can do, and definitely the night that I got them, I was so jazzed, and I was kind of walking around with him and holding his hammer up and rah, rah. And my wife was like, I don't get it. And I was like, these are like my Grey Knights, except bigger. And she said, I don't get it. And I said, it's like my Grey Knights, except they're bigger. And she was like, can you use them in the game? And I went, no, they're just gonna sit around and be neat. Which she still didn't get, but I'm really happy for them. I'll give them a 3 on the fun factor scale. So, I think that's the last category. Value! I forget how much these were, price-wise. Let's look that up real quick. Joytoy Grey Knights. $55? Holy shit! That's awesome. That's fantastic. That's a stellar deal. Wow. Really? That can't be right. I'm gonna go to a website rather than just... Okay, $70 to $80 makes a lot more sense. So they're like $70 to $80 for these, which is good deal, I think, because they look great, they make me happy, and that's all that matters, is they look really neat and they make me happy. So let's do a 4 out of 4 for value. This is an objective review, by the way. Definitely not just because I love Grey Knights Terminators. All right. Overall, an average. Overall doesn't have to be the average. So I think overall, the only things that really got them less than 4 stars on were the packaging, but I don't really remember the packaging, and the fun, which I don't feel like I'm qualified to gauge particularly. I'm gonna give these 4 out of 4 though. If you're the kind of person who is interested in Grey Knight Terminators and you see these motherfuckers, you're gonna be so happy to get them because you just look at them and they make you happy. If you're the kind of person who likes looking at your models and just feeling good, you're gonna be really happy with these. I know I am. I'm really tempted to get the others in the set, but I'm very poor, so I'm not going to do that because other things are more important, such as my business or food. But I'm very happy with these. You know what? I'm content with the ones I have. I've got 2 cool Grey Knights, and they're going to watch over my other models, and it's going to be neat. Yeah. So 4 out of 4 stars for these, and that's objective because Grey Knight Terminators are the coolest possible things. For regular viewers who've waited around until the end of the channel, thanks. Appreciate you being here. I just wanted to mention that I haven't posted any battle reports recently, and that's because 10th edition is coming out, and if I'm being honest, I'm not really feeling playing 9th edition because I'm so excited for 10th edition. So in the next 2 months, I'm probably not going to be posting any battle reports, simply because I'm just really excited for 10th. I'm getting super hyped. I love that Terminators are going to T5 and getting a 4-up invul, and that makes me so happy. Grey Knights are just gonna get a lot of spillover buffs that like regular Space Marines are getting. Grey Knights are just gonna bask in the runoff of it, and I'm really stoked about that. So in the next few months, I'm not gonna be playing a lot of 40k. Maybe I'll do some Horus Heresy stuff, but you're probably gonna get some videos of me doing some hobby things. I bought another kit of Terminators. What? And I'm gonna paint them. I'm gonna do some cool stuff with that. So if you're interested in all that, the hobby aspect of things, I'll still be doing that for the next few months, but I'm just not interested in playing 9th edition at the moment because I'm so excited for the future of 40k, which is a good thing. And yeah, a lot of you honestly should take that to heart. Use these next 2 months to get your army ready so that when you get into 10th edition, you're ready to go, and you got a whole fucking suite of guys that you can experiment with, because it's gonna be the Wild West. Everybody's getting new rules, nobody knows what's gonna happen. Yeah. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching this dumb video. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate the fact that I can just post stuff and people watch it. That's how YouTube works. Yeah, I'll see you next week for something different, guys.